Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're like me and have an old Windows PC gathering dust in the corner, maybe it's slowing down, struggling with updates, or just not keeping up anymore, don't toss it out just yet. Switching to Linux can give it a fresh start, turning that sluggish machine into something snappy and useful again. Today, we're diving into 5 lightweight Linux distributions that are perfect for reviving older hardware. These are designed to be efficient, using minimal resources while still providing a solid desktop experience. I'll break down each one, including what makes them great, potential drawbacks, who they are best suited for, and their basic system requirements. These picks are based on community feedback, recent reviews, and official specs as of early 2026. Remember, Linux is free, customizable, and often more secure than outdated Windows versions. So, let's jump in. First up is Linux Lite. This distro is built with newcomers in mind, especially those coming from Windows. It uses the XFCE desktop environment, which is light on resources, but still feels familiar with its start menu and taskbar layout. It's based on Ubuntu's long term support releases. It gets security updates for years, and it comes with handy tools for tasks like backups and updates. You'll find essentials pre installed, like a web browser, office apps, and media players, so you can get productive right away. So, why choose Linux Lite? It's straightforward and doesn't overwhelm you with complexity, making the switch from Windows painless. Plus, it's stable and has supportive community. On the flip side, if your PC is extremely ancient, like pre 2010 hardware, it might not be the absolute lightest option out there. It doesn't have the most modern look, but that's trade off for performance. Linux Lite shines for the first time Linux users or anyone wanting reliability on mid range older machines. About minimum specs, a 1 GHz processor, 1 GB of RAM, though 2 GB is recommended for smoother multitasking, and about 20 GB of disk space. Next, let's talk about MX Linux. This one's a collaboration between communities focused on stability and ease of use. It runs on Debian's stable base, which means it's rock solid and less prone to breaking. The default XFCE version is great for older PCs, and it even supports 32-bit systems, which is rare these days. MX Tools, a suite of graphical utility, makes managing your system simple, from hardware tweaks to software installation. Out of the box, you get apps for productivity, like an Office suite and email client. Pros include its user friendly approach and lower resource needs, plus options for advanced users like choosing init systems. However, since it's based on Debian stable, the software packages might not be the absolute newest. It's not the leanest for ultra low end setups. Best for people who want a feature packed yet efficient distro on legacy hardware. About the requirements, a modern i686 processor, 1 GB RAM, and just 5 GB of disk space. Moving on to Bodhi Linux. If minimalism is your vibe, this distro stands out with its Moksha desktop environment, a fork of enlightenment that's super fast and customizable without the bloat. Built on Ubuntu LTS, it emphasizes functionality over flashiness. So you start with a clean slate and add only what you need. There is a legacy version for 32-bit machines, and it runs well on really old specs. The big wins are its speed and efficiency, plus long-term support for stability. But the unique interface might take some getting used to if you are expecting a traditional setup, and you'll have to install most apps yourself. Ideal for users tired of common desktops like XFCE or those with very low-end hardware. About the specs, a 500 MHz processor, 32-bit compatible, 512 MB RAM, and 5 GB disk space. Now, Peppermint OS. This distro takes a modern twist by integrating web apps seamlessly into the desktop via its Qmo tool. Think running Gmail or Spotify as if they were native programs, which saves on resources. It's Debian based with XFCE, keeping things responsive, and offers choices like avoiding systemd for pursuits. The install is minimal, with a welcome screen guiding you to add what you want, like browser or productivity tools. Now, about the strengths. It's optimized for speed, great for cloud heavy workflows, and flexible on init systems. About the drawbacks, if you prefer a fully loaded setup out of the box or aren't into web apps, it might require more initial tweaking. It's perfect for web-centric users or those seeking a bloat-free start. About the requirements, an x86 processor, 1 GB RAM, and 10 GB disk space. Finally, Linux Mint XFCE edition. Linux Mint is a favorite for Windows switchers, and the XFCE variant is lighter than its Cinnamon or Matte siblings, making it ideal for older PCs. It features a polished, intuitive interface with a start menu and panels that feel right at home. It's based on Ubuntu LTS. It has excellent app availability and community support. The latest version, 22.3, is supported until 2029, with updates handled easily. So why go for it? It's beginner friendly, compatible with tons of hardware, and comes with useful pre-installed software. About the cons, it might feel a bit heavier on truly ancient machines, and the look is more classic than cutting edge. It's great for Linux newbies with decent mid-range hardware. About the specs, an x86 processor, 2 GB RAM, and 20 GB disk space. So, which one should you pick? Check your PC specs first, like RAM, processor, and storage, and match them to these requirements. For really old 32-bit systems, try MX Linux or Bodhi. And if you are new to Linux, go with Linux Lite or Mint XFCE for the familiar feel. If you are all about the cloud, Peppermint's your pick. Test them out in a live USB mode before installing. No commitment needed. To get started, download the ISO from their official sites. Use a tool like Rufus on Windows to make a bootable USB and boot from it. Back up your data first and follow a simple installation guide. It's easier than you think. Links in the description. If this helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more tech tips, and let me know in the comments. What's your go-to distro for old hardware? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.